Okay, we're going to look at question 2E. Again, an interesting question and one that was quite problematic for many people. So they give us the gradient function, f of x, and they basically tell us it's a linear equation or linear function, and it's a negative linear function. So it's basically this kind of look, which means that we're going to be dealing with the original function is going to be a negative parabola. So these are, again, visual things that you need to play with. The problem with this one is, and makes it different from the other ones, is that we've got this gradient, which we don't know what it is. So we've got an unknown in here. And we don't know what the gradient function is equal to. We don't have any turning points, maximum or minimum. We don't have any information around that. We only have some information about the function has points at 4 and 6 and 10 and 15. This is quite different from the other questions because the other questions were giving us turning points, max and min information, what the gradient function is equal to 0 at these points and so on. We're not having any of that information. We have no idea where this point is or where this is crossing or any of that information. So for this one, what we do know is that we can antidifferentiate what we have. So if we antidifferentiate this original equation, then we're going to end up with negative mx squared over 2 plus 5x plus c. So that's our antidifferentiated expression. Now, there's no place to go at this point other than to use these points. And the problem is that these points will get rid of our f of x and like our y and our x's, but they won't tell us basically, they won't give us enough information that we can actually find c because we've got this m still involved here. But we're going to stick them in anyway. So we're going to use 4 and 6 because this is all I've got to do. I mean, this is all I know how to do. So I'm going to put 6 in equals negative m times 4 squared over 2 plus 5 times 4 plus c. And then I'm going to just get c is equal to, and this is going to be 16 over 2, which is going to give me negative 8m plus 20 plus c. So you can see it's problematic because I can't solve c because I've got m here. I've still got this m issue. So I'm done here at this point. I can't really go any further. I can make this in terms of c if I want. I can make c equal to, this is going to be 8m minus the 20 over, and I'm going to get minus 14. So that's really all I can do at this point is put this thing in terms of c. This is all I've got. Now, the thing is I've got another point. So I can do this all again, and then I can start looking at simultaneous equations kind of thing. Because when I've got an extra unknown, maybe simultaneous equations will basically help me out. So I'm going to do this all again, but I'm going to do it for the other point. So I'm going to go 15 is equal to negative m times 10 squared over 2 plus 5 times 10 plus c. So this is going to give me 15 is equal to, it's going to be 100 divided by 2, so that's negative 50m plus 50 plus c. And again, I can put this in terms of c, or I could do there's other things that I could do, but I'm just going to put this in terms of c because it's just easiest. C is equal to 50m minus 50. Oh, sorry, minus 35 because I've got to bring it over to the 15. So minus 35. So now we can see that we can do simultaneous equations with this thing because now we've got c is equal to 8m minus 14 and c is equal to this. So I can just substitute in and I can get, I can take this 50m, substitute in for c minus 35 is equal to 8m minus 14. Simultaneous equations, very handy. And then I can just solve this and I'll get 42m is equal to 21 and m is 0.5. How handy. I can stick that back into one of the equations and I can find out what C is. Doesn't matter which one. If you want, you can go C is equal to 50 times 0.5 minus 35. And if you work that out, you're going to end up getting 25 minus 35, which is a negative 10. You've got to find M and you've got to find C. No way you can do this problem without getting those two things first. Now, once I've got that, once I've got M and C, it's just a matter of going back up to my question, up to my equation, this, and substituting those things in to the equation f of x and get an equation. So you get basically f of x is equal to negative 0.5 m squared over 2 plus 5x minus 10, and then that's going to be equal to negative 0.25 m squared plus 5x minus 10. Here's your answer.